Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing tardive dyskinesia. It is a pretty simple one so long as you have some of your basics right, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Now, tardive dyskinesia is a type of, extrapyramidal side effect of antipsychotic drugs, right? So really, what is psychosis? So when you take, for example, a disease like schizophrenia, what's going to happen is there is excess dopamine in the mesolimbic pathway, right, in the limbic system. So then we try to combat that by putting them on antipsychotic drugs, right? And we are going to be blocking the D2 receptors with these drugs, and that reduces their episodes of psychosis. Now, what really is the mechanism of developing tardive dyskinesia, right? So what happens when tardive dyskinesia, you need to remember that it develops in people who've been on antipsychotics for a while, like let's say from months to years. Like you could put somebody on antipsychotics and they could come in with these symptoms like 1 to 2 years after you've begun the drug. So how does this happen? So the first thing is that you're blocking D2, right? Then what happens is there's going to be upregulation of D2 and supersensitivity, right? Supersensitivity. Now, when does this manifest? When there is like an alteration. I'm so sorry about that. That color isn't working. When there's an alteration of the dosage, you either reduce it or try to wean them off or something like that. That's when tardive dyskinesia would typically manifest. Okay. Now, what are some of the symptoms of tardive dyskinesia? You can see basically there's going to be two main manifestations. The first one is going to be facial dyskinesias, right? And then the other one is going to be chorioathetosis, basically chorea of upper and lower limbs. So they would repeatedly protrude their tongue, or they can smack their lips or pucker their mouths. They could have some degree of facial grimacing and excessive blinking, and writhing movements is like chorea of the hands and legs. So how do we manage tardive dyskinesia? So there's dosage reduction, and in some cases there's going to be discontinuation of the drug, right? Or they might wish to switch to a second generation antipsychotic, because that's where the incidence of extrapyramidal symptoms is less. So that's one way to go about it. Many people recommend switching to clozapine because clozapine is a very effective medication, right? And it has less propensity to cause extrapyramidal symptoms. Now, there are some TD specific drugs like valbenazine and deutetrabenazine. So what they're going to do is they're going to block VMAT2 receptors, and that is going to decrease DA release from nerve endings. So you're seeing what we're doing here is, instead of blocking the D2 receptor, you are just reducing DA release, you're trying to control it at the source. So you can see how this could be helpful in a situation like tardive dyskinesia. And the last line is for refractory tardive dyskinesia, where there's going to be like deep brain stimulation by insertion of some kind of device or something like that. I'm really not sure about this last uh, modality, but you wouldn't have to worry about this for the boards, because that's pretty much like very advanced psychiatry stuff. But these three would be very important to remember for the boards, for the USMLE steps. I hope that this was helpful. I think I've pretty much covered everything you need to know about tardive dyskinesia itself, right? Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful. I will see you again soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye and take care.